Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is just a bit of a rehouse and the care of my Theraphosa apothysis. Yeah, we'll keep that short and sweet and just get straight into the video. Right, so I'm just going to get it out of its enclosure now. I'm going to get as much out as possible. I'm going to keep the lid around because this is a very bulgy spider. So yeah, the Theraphosa apothysis, they come from Venezuela and Brazil. They're a New World tarantula, so they don't have the medically significant venom that the Old Worlds do, but they do have type 3 urticating hairs, so that's something you need to keep in mind with these. Yeah, they're a bit skittish at this size. Right, so let's see, am I going to be able to make it easier if it would move off the hide? Let's see if we can just get you back in. Let's see how this is going to work. Right, it's not a massive catch cup, but I think it's big enough. There we go. Now, am I going to be able to get the lid underneath here? Let's see. There we go. Now move it back slowly. There we go. In there, safe and sound, no problem. You see there, these are quite skittish and they are known for kicking hairs, but we did that confidently and slowly and we had no issues with it. So I'm moving this tarantula today because it's so fast and skittish, the tub that it's currently in, I'm starting to get a bit worried that it's going to end up either out of the enclosure or it's going to end up damaging itself running around. So I thought it'd probably best just to move into this. This is probably a bit too big, but the speed these grow at, it's not going to be long before this is an ideal size for it. These don't grow as fast as the Sturmy or the Blondie, but they're still a fast growing species. So yeah, I've just put in there some topsoil with some sphagnum moss in, and now I'm just putting in some substrate that I've collected from the local woods. In there, there's going to be springtails and other bits and pieces in there. So get that mixed up. I'm putting plenty of substrate in here just to help hold some humidity in the enclosure. So I'm going to make sure it's plenty deep enough. I'm going to have one end slightly deeper than the other, and this will be the end where I put the hide. I think I can get away with a bit more in there. Yeah. So yeah, that's all in there and mixed up. I'm going to give that a little bit of a spray down, and then let's have a look. Yeah, a little bit of a spray down, and then I'm going to put some more substrate over the top when I've had, there we go. Okay. My mist is not working very well. Yeah, got one of these Pro Rep misters. It worked well for about a week, and now it's gotten really potent. So yeah, let's put it in there. I will spray down in the corners as well. Let's get a bit more of this substrate in there. Right. So now let's get the hide in there. Everything that I'm putting in here today is collected from the wild, apart from the topsoil, of course. It's giving me plenty of room in there for a hide. I've also got these bits of wood that have got bits of moss on that I'm going to put in here as well. And I'm also going to put in some actual collected moss. I don't want to build it up too high either, because I don't know whether it does make any difference, but I've noticed some of my tarantulas they've always laid their web on the top here when it comes to molting. I'm always a little bit scared that they're not leaving themselves enough room. I've never had that issue with them, but it always worries me a bit, so I try to keep it so it's not too close to the top of the enclosure. Yeah, so these like quite a high humidity. They're not as they don't need as much as humidity as the Sturmy or the Bondi, but they still need it quite high. So what I do is, to keep the humidity up, is spray in the corners, just so we get them bottom layers wet. And as the bottom layers dry out, I'll do it again. I don't tend to mist too much. I do a little bit of misting just to wet the moss, but not too much. You want it humid in here, but you don't want it a boggy, stagnant mess. So I've also, to help with the stagnant air, I've also made sure there's plenty of ventilation in this enclosure that it's going to go into. I sometimes overflow the water dish, but it just depends on whether it needs it. With it having the corners wet and like the bottom layer is wet, and the moss in there as well wet, hopefully that should keep the humidity up without really needing to overflow the water bowl. So yeah, I've noticed that these have a very good feeding response. So it's just a case of making sure you're careful with how you feed them. Just keep an eye on the abdomen. If it looks like it needs feeding, feed it. If it's looking like a bit of a fatty, just hold off with the feeding for a little bit. So yeah, we're gonna get the spider back in here now. So like I said, there's plenty of ventilation in this tub. I've got ventilation down all the sides. I've also got quite a lot of ventilation in the lid. Right, so let's get it back in here. So I have found with these, they are very skittish, and they are a lot faster than you would probably think they are. So you just need to keep yourself cool, calm and collected, and try to make sure that you always do any sort of feeding or moving of the tarantula inside a tub. So you want your enclosure inside another tub. So yeah, let's just take that off there. Being as slow and steady as possible. And we're going to need a brush for you. Let's have a look. Right, let's see. Get my hands in the way there. There you go, to come off. Let's have a look. Oh, there we go. Back in the enclosure. All safe and sound. There was no hair kicking there. No threat poses. It was just all went in nice and easy. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. It went really smoothly. I was quite happy with how it went. A couple of things that I forgot to mention in there. So like the humidity wants to be around the 70–80% mark. My room I keep at 26 degrees during the day, and it goes down to 23–24 at night. Feeding wise, they're monsters. It's never skipped a meal except for when it's been in pre-molt or just after molting. So yeah, they are amazing. It's a beautiful spider. Really glad that I've got one in my collection. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you didn't like it, hit the dislike. If you comment, share, click the subscribe button and the bell notification. It all helps. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.